Hi Kiwi! Alrighty, so we are going to play some more Cassette Beasts today. I was going to play Isaac at your request, but unfortunately you were running an idle game on your computer and forgot to switch to offline mode, and since we're playing on a shared file, I can't actually access the game. So here we are playing Cassette Beasts instead. I'm pretty sure I explored this tunnel. Yeah, I couldn't get up here without a crate or a high jump ability. What have you got to say? I pressed the wrong button. Hold on. Okay. My favorite... Oh, right. My favorite 20th century event was the Human Elf Peace Deal brokered by the United Nations in 1948. Without that, things would have gone very differently. We already talked to you. What about you? Have we talked? No, we have not. I'll tell you a secret if you can beat me. Oh, I can beat you all right. Secret. Oh, it's another dandelion. Well, at least in this instance, they don't really have a chance since... If I recall, air types and fire types are effective here, so let's switch from the two types that are probably not effective here. Actually, let's test out poison against this first and see what happens. Yeah, Dandelion has like no damage from the looks of it, so it really is truly meant to be a support tank for a double battle. Oh right, if this was a wild one, I would catch it immediately because it very much would fit my playstyle. My competitive Pokemon teams back in the day were very much a combination of sweepers and stall, meaning fast and high damage units that are usually glass cannons, ooh, lots of damage absorbed. Okay, so yeah, leaf types are very weak to poison. They get extra poison. Fog reduces accuracy of ranged attacks that aren't water, air, or ice type to 0% for 3 turns. Ooh. Oh, but that's only range attacks. That can be really good, and it can be really miss if you're fighting a melee type sort of monster. Legend has it this island holds the Font of Youth. Do you think it's Comic Sans or Times New Roman? I think it's Papyrus, personally. I appreciate your pun, good sir. I am being chased by an angry bird. Anyway, so yeah, and stall usually were bulky or tanky Pokemon that would set its own thing. Interesting. I think I can get up there if I platform. I might have to take a bit of a distance. So let's get that out of the screen there. I need another rock. If I can find a single rock, the world opens up to me. Let's backtrack this way a little bit. This wasn't actually deep, if I recall. Okay, there's a crate, so I could probably use that to platform. I feel like there were some here. Don't know how to open that. Something up there, maybe? Alright, well, I can tell where I've been by the number of dead bodies I pass. Very, very typical of... No, it's not. Never mind. I'm really having to backtrack a fair distance just to find the one item I'm looking for. There's got to be one around here somewhere. Ah, here we go. Here are a bunch. Okay. Alright, let the platforming hijinks begin. So yeah, generally, and again, I mostly played one-on-ones rather than 2v2s, what's called VGC format. You look like a ranger captain, if I had to guess. And usually my team setup was at least one sweeper and one tank of each corresponding damage type. So special attack and physical attack specifically is what I mean. So I had a special sweeper, a physical sweeper, and then I had a special tank and a physical tank. And then the other two mons that I had would depend on who I had. Oh, this bird really is relentless. But definitely wasn't supposed to get access to this early. Flirt lowers the target's evasion aerosol tape. A tape with a very high efficiency rate when used against air-type monsters. In a pinch, it can also be used as hairspray. Their flavor text really amuses me. Ooh, I could feel my knees crunching under that sound. There was something else I found that could be that I could use this for. I assume this doesn't get brought between zone transitions, but here, let's see if I can get up here. What's over here that I'm not supposed to be accessing yet? Oh!
Right.
I've been honing my monster skills out here for months now. Come on, let me show you the results of my training. And what those switches used to be, the bonus two that weren't my sweepers, were usually either a combination of sweeper or like kind of off tank. I tended to favor the tankier strategies just because I like feeling that, like, if I, how do I explain this? It felt more reliable to me with how my playstyle favors. But I definitely see a huge potential for Dandelion here. It just looks so... What did I just do? Did I just... Oh my goodness. I'm not paying attention. I just used Air Wall against it instead of... For some reason my brain read Zephyr as my attack. Oh man, that's dumb. Alright, I guess I'll just smack this and then... Oh, that's really embarrassing. Oh my goodness. Oh well. Anyway, so yeah, I don't have a lot of experience with VGC. I did play triples for a little while, which was just a kind of a gimmick mode that was available in, I forget if I think it was Gen 5. It may have been Gen 4. It's been so long that I don't fully remember anymore. But I quite enjoyed playing the triples format. I had a really fun kind of sunny day center team. That was a combination of Tangrowth, Venusaur, and Ninetales, I think, that worked really well. I loved Venusaur back then. He was such a strong pick for my teams because I was running this, again, sunny day. Venusaur had two abilities. One was the one that every grass starter has, which is... Oh, I forget the name of it, but basically when their HP is below, I think, 30%, they get extra damage. They get like a 50% damage increase to their grass type moves. The other ability that Venusaur had was Chlorophyll, which I think I've told you about before, but Chlorophyll is a move that when in sunny day or sunny weather, the Pokemon with the ability gets a speed boost. I believe by 50% as well. And that made Venusaur, who's already got reasonable bulk, a pretty solid typing, and pretty good move, and very good move pool, frankly. The speed he needs to outspeed a lot of potential threats. And so, yeah, it made Venusaur an absolute monster, because one, you could run Sunny Day, or you could run Solar Beam, because Solar Beam's normally a charge one turn, fire the next, and do a whole lot of damage. In Sunny Weather, Solar Beam goes off on the first turn, so it would just absolutely... I'm confused. Why did I have all of those other move options before, and now I'm back to having Zephyr? I'm confused. What? Oh, I'm berserked. That's why. Okay, so it just removed all my other options because I'm berserked. Okay, that's fair enough. But yeah, I would, is this where I lose the... what? Oh, it hits both. That's OP. Oh, and it has Revenge Strike. It's a good thing I'm using range attacks, because if I had done any sort of melee damage to this, it would have come in and Revenge Strike me, because of its... I know it has that passive, it almost always does. Oh, that's a lot of pulp. I guess I still have a lot more training to do. Alright, so I think we're going to have to switch out our starting cast. Let's switch to Lemonade for Kiwi. Or actually, Kiwi would rather be a snake. Let's let Kiwi be a snake. And then I'll be the dog. You're a snake, I'm a dog. Perfect. Alright. Anyway. Okay, I've been through here before. Okay, I know where I am. I think. It's not always clear where you have and haven't explored, unfortunately. It's probably best to do this kind of in order for that reason. I think I've already conquered this one, but let's take a peek in here. It's a good thing I can still glide. Alright, did I get it? Yeah, this is the one I conquered with Eugene. Okay, that makes sense. There's a bonfire right here. I may as well just grab it while I'm on the way elsewhere. Camp here, yes. Rest. You and Kaylee casually discuss the mysteries of New Whirl. But yeah, my my classic strategy in Pokemon, if I haven't completely derailed my thought, what was I talking about before? My general strategy for team composition was I would always lead with a Pokemon that has Intimidate, because Intimidate is a passive... Oh, right, I was talking about Venusaur. Hold on. Let me finish about talking about Venusaur, and then I'll talk about it. So, to begin with, when I started playing Pokemon, Squirtle was my favorite of the 3 starters. I really liked Blastoise, and since growing up, I've found a great fondness for grass types in general, but particularly, I love Bulbasaur as a starter. Oh, right, I remember. I came across the Ranger champion here. I remember having an out-of-body experience. I was floating above my body in bed, and then whoosh, sucked down a vortex. Next thing I knew, I was here. Alright, let's see if there's anything on this island. Just a traffic crab. There must be something else. Well, the end. That's where our journey ends. Jeff drowned. Not the first time. I'm just gonna wait for my stamina to recharge. But yeah, so I've fallen in love with the Bulbaline, and that has maintained in part because of how I've never been a fan of Charizard in competitive, even though he's always been a pretty solid choice. His typing usually just made him so vulnerable to Stealth Rocks, and I didn't really like running Rapid Spin on my competitive teams, despite that kind of being obligatory in a lot of instances. But anyway, I know I can get up there. I believe. Oh wait, what am I doing? I can just go this way. Oops. So, Venusaur again was one of my absolute best Pokemon in that, especially in that triples format. So I had Solar Beam and Sunny Weather, so I would always get it off first turn, which was already really strong. Maybe I should head back to Harbor Town for tactical supply restock. And what do you have to say? Hey, I see you're a tape player. Are you also trying to join the Rangers? I guess that makes us rivals. Wannabe. Ooh, Folklord. Okay, Folklore and Lord. I get it. That looks like it's an evolution of Nevermort, but it's very much not Birdie anymore. Beast type. Okay. I think we just stick to our usual strategy of light it on fire and spit on it to put the fire out, I guess. Oh, spit first. Anyway, so Venusaur, what I would run on him was Solar Beam. So you have one of the strongest grass moves in the game, getting fired off in a single turn. Pardon me. And then I had Sludge Bomb, one of the strongest poison-type attacks that has a pretty high chance of causing toxic-level poison, which means poison damage that starts at 1/16th, but then increases incrementally how much damage it does each turn. And then I had... what was it? I think I may have had Synthesis, which heals Venusaur for 50% in normal weather and 100% in sunny weather, so he could just get fully healed at the end of the battle on a turn's notice. And then I know I had Hidden Power. I think it was either Ground or Rock. I think it was Rock type, because so the way Hidden Power works is its damage and its type are based on your Pokemon's IVs, or individual values, which are values preset into the Pokemon upon its first being spawned into the world. So when you hatch from an egg, when you catch it, etc. Oh no. Ah, that was close. Here we got a battle. Ooh, I think that's my new monster over there. I need a break from digging. If you can beat me in a quick battle, I'll tell you a little about this place. And so Hidden Power Rock gave incredible type coverage for Venusaur because it was effective against fire types. It was effective against flying types, and a lot of its other big threats were, if not weak, at least neutrally affected by it, where they might resist its poison or grass options. This is a ground type. I don't think fire does well against this, but I want to see what it does because I don't remember. And I know poison gets grounded or something, so let's switch to wind type and see what happens here. You know what water type would have been effective? Clay fired. Okay, it raises defense. Okay, that's what I thought, but I wanted to confirm. And this extinguishes. Okay, fair enough. Ooh, and burned. Alright, we'll switch out Bombardier then and switch into Pincushion just for this fight. And you can... Actually, yeah, no, I'll stick to this. And we'll use Sonic Boom here. Anyway, Lost my train of thought. Yeah. So my Venusaur was the core damage member of the team, but then I also had Tangrowth, who was kind of a subseeder. I think I ran him subseed, like I mentioned about how Dandelion worked earlier. And then Ninetales was also meant to be more of a damaging type. The only downside to this build was that no one was really physically attacking. So if my opponent had a good special wall, it would my team would have a lot of issue trying to take them out. But it was a very bulky setup, and I could have Ninetales set up with Nasty Plot, which doubled its it effectively doubled its special attack, and it just made it an absolute monster because it could also use Heat Wave, which hits everyone on the field, so it would hurt my other Pokemon that were weak to it, but they were so bulky that they could survive it pretty well, if I recall. Maybe not after a Nasty Plot, and I don't fully remember my strategy because it's been so long, but I remember having a lot of fun with triple battles because they were, I mean, if you can see the level of creativity that it takes to play double battles. And have like competitively viable strategies. Triple battles just made it even crazier, especially because the way it worked was if the Pokemon was all the way on the left, it could only hit the left and center Pokemon on your opponent's team. Velocirifle. Oh, I wonder if that's the one I just saw. All right, this sounds like another fire type, so I think our moves are effective against them. Spray is definitely effective, lowers its damage, and Spit. Yeah, both of these will lower its damage, so it'll be in a bad spot. Rapid Fire, multi-hit attack. Okay. I like that Rapid Fire is a multi-hit attack. Makes sense, and it's also a play on words for fire type move. Clever. Anyway, so yeah, that was because position also mattered. One of the things you could do during your turn is switch the position of your Pokemon, which not just allows you to attack your opponent who might have a Pokemon on a different side that's weak to things, it also means that you could potentially evade a super effective move and switch someone who is not affected by that. And so it never made it past whatever gen it debuted in, I'm pretty sure. I think it was a Gen 5 thing, but it very well could have been Gen 4. I know it couldn't have been later than Gen 5 because all of the weather type moves got super nerfed after that point. It used to be that Pokemon with characters with Locked On cannot miss. Ooh, I wonder if we can combo that with the sleep effects later in the game. That might be fun to mess around with since they only have 1% accuracy. I feel like that might be a little broken since they have such huge base power. If they work, though, that's quite the Wombo combo, I imagine. We know from Captain Dreadful that people used to mine this area for metals, but not all the explosions that happen here seem to have been controlled, and I can't find any traces of mining tools or artificial explosives. It's possible this whole area was excavated by Bulletinos over several centuries. So either the captain is wrong or Bulletinos have destroyed all the evidence, or maybe the evidence became the Bulletinos. What do you think? So I'm going to assume that's a Bulletino right there, but which wasn't what for some reason, my brain heard the Tino part and was thinking like dinosaur or like rhino. Clearly they went more on the bullet side of things, and from the looks of it, it's going to be a fire type, so maybe I position myself to handle that well. So let's swap Lemonade out for Seviper, and I'll switch Bonavin out for this. Bonavin can tank, Kaylee can dodge, and Kaylee will catch while Bonavin does damage. Okay, I think I like that setup. Alright, let's see if we can break rocks once we have this thing. Yep, that's a Bulletino. Okay, so I think first things first, let's get rid of Squirey just so he can't mess up the stuff. Shooting Star. I'll hit a Shooting Star on this one. I know Bonavin doesn't have enough damage to knock it out, or I'm very suspicious he doesn't. And then I can start knocking out. I'll use Dodge on Kaylee right off the bat. The fastest one on the scene already is repeating itself. Oh! Okay, well, I miscalculated. Landing a fire-type attack on an air-type creates an updraft, an air wall that can absorb a number of incoming attacks. Ooh, so that means if I use AoE fire on a wind type, I could potentially make my wind type pretty defensive. Intriguing, intriguing. There are just so many options here. Unfortunately, the option to catch Bulletino has already been lost. He must be an absolute glass cannon. He's really fast and he died so quickly. He must have like no defense. I wasn't expecting Bonavin to knock him out, even if there was like an 8 level difference, but still. Oh well, at least I know where they spawn, which means if I come back here later, I can find one, hopefully. Now let's see what this lever's about. Clearly I'm not supposed to be able to access this yet. Oh good, an updraft. What's up, draft? Ha 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 ha. Another one. Oh, oh. Come to Jeff. Oh, they're all over the place. Gimme, 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 gimme. Alright, there are 2 of them. Now that I know they die in 1 hit, I don't have to worry about catching both of them. So, Shooting Star on this, on the weaker one, and Kaylee will dodge. But anyway, I'm sad that they didn't do the more creative custom battles throughout the game. Like, one of the reasons Pokemon Emerald is so beloved is it had the, what is it called? The Battle Frontier, which was a kind of like a gym challenge, except it was you fought sequential battles. If you lost your streak. You got a streak for winning multiple battles in a row, and once you got enough of a streak, you would fight effectively what was the equivalent of the gym leader. And it was fun because it was a very challenging mode in a lot of aspects. It was also very, very difficult because it was so easy to just lose to RNG sometimes. Because sometimes, like, the different challenges were very dependent. We'll just use a basic tape here. I think we'll have a pretty solid chance of catching it. For example, there was, if I recall, there was one that lets your Pokemon choose their moves. So you very much had to depend on often RNG to win you the fight. Other ones were like, you have, oh gosh, what? I mean, there's the classic 1v1 battles. There's, oh man, it's been so long since I touched it, I can't remember all of them. The Bulletino only has one defense mechanism, and that is to launch itself headfirst into danger when panicked. This is a bad idea, but the Bulletino will always do it anyway. Sprint and Spit. Oh my god, look at its stats. It just, all it has is speed. It is one of the fastest monsters I've encountered, but it has nothing to use those stats with. It does have a purpose. This would be the equivalent of, oh, let me figure out a name first. Alright, Bulletino. Stop for Sandwich. Stop for Sandy. Okay. Welcome to the team, Stop for Sandy. I don't even know where these names come from sometimes. Alright. Bulletino Dash. You can now press B to perform a short dash. This consumes your stamina. Stop for Sandy was put in storage. Self-destruct. Okay. I've lost my train of thought entirely again, and I don't remember what I was talking about because I got excited about catching a new mon, I guess. Oopsie. I'm really bad at this phase shift. Do the user's attacks can hit ghosts? Have we encountered any ghost types yet? Maybe it's a status ailment? I don't know. We have not encountered anything that employs a ghost type mechanic thus far as I know. Anyway, how's our party doing? And we'll switch back. I'll stick with Bombardier for a little bit longer. And you can go back to being a snake. Oh right, I already tried to break you with a rock, if I recall. We went down this way. Didn't check to the right over here, though. So let's see what's over. Actually, I'm pretty sure I did explore this already. I don't think I went in the cave, though. 2 squiries. I think I'll leave that alone, then. No platform is untouchable when I have a rock on my head. Alright, what's in the cave? Nothing that oh wait, can I? I can. Oh, okay, so Bulletino makes it so I can run through these, Oh, hey, it's the thing we found earlier. Awesome. Oh, it was a mimic. Never cook a rogue fusion. Alright, so it's a poison and earth type, which means really bad matchup for our starting team. I want to get off one fire move because it'll give it chip damage over time. That will boost its defenses, but then I'll switch out to an air type and a water type, and that should lower the defenses once I start damaging them. So let's go ahead and hit him with an Inflame. And then switch Kaylee out to Clock of Jello? Lemonade. Switch out to Lemonade and use a dodge. Sandstorm. Okay. Melee attack down, range attack down. Timer's reduced. What's that do? Looks like it just knocked down the duration of my status ailments, which actually seems good for me. Alright, good. So we've got the Ignite on it now, so it'll take some chip damage over time. It seems fairly tanky, so I'm glad I got that. I mean, I've inevitably just made it much tankier, but I'm sticking with the plan. Excuse me, I'm sticking with the plan. Okay. Both of them are hurting pretty bad, so it's not an easy choice to switch out. I'm gonna switch out to... Wait, I know. This isn't an easy choice. Alright, we'll dodge on Kaylee, and hopefully transfer that to a fusion soon. Grounded. Their type attacks ground the electricity of lightning type targets, reducing the scope of their attacks. It's fine. So yeah, if I use Thunder Blast here, I'll have to deal with it getting... What? Does that reflect it? I thought I would get grounded. I'm unclear what that means. The air type move should lower its defenses, like the second hit that does air damage. I'm gonna use it just so I can learn. And then we'll hit it with a Sonic Boom, which... Oh, I guess... Am I mistaken? I thought air types do benefit here. Oh well. Either way. We just need to do damage. Toxic Stab. Alright, I'm poisoned. Not ideal. Sonic Boom it. Vitrified. Interesting. Okay. When lightning strikes sand, it creates Fulgurite, natural glass. Earth-type targets of lightning-type attacks change type to become glass. Okay. Resonating. Loud sounds and air-type attacks can cause glass targets to resonate and start vibrating. If the resonance becomes strong enough, it can cause the glass to break. Each time resonance is inflicted on a character, it adds to a counter. When the counter reaches 3, the character is shaken apart and instantly defeated. Alright. So it was kind of the right move, but I have to switch Clock of Jello out. He's in a bad spot. I think I switched to Bonavin for now and hope that he can tank some hits. And I'll use Viper as kind of the last option trump card afterwards. I'm going to keep using Sonic Boom because it does pretty solid damage. I don't really have another option here. If I land one more wind type move though, it'll get knocked out. So maybe I should... I don't think... No, I wouldn't have been faster. It eliminated super fast, so if we got hit there, I don't think the switch would have worked. I mean, I didn't know he wasn't going to attack us, but still. Okay. Let's go ahead and nurse Kaylee, assuming she survives this next move or dodges, and then we can use Sonic Boom to wipe it out. Or actually, let's save the AP and use Spit, because it's still a wind type move there. Oof. Unfortunate. Ooh! Ooh, I think that's a shiny. Defeat 5 Rogue Fusions. Achievement unlocked. Alright, that's an Earth type. I don't really have many effective options against it, and I don't think I have any rewinds left. We should head back to town and buy those, because that's actually becoming an issue here. Okay. Switch out to Viper. Don't really have many options. Okay. So, oh, you know what? It's not a bootleg. It's a. I think it's just it still has the debuff of being glass type. That was cool though. That the other one, because I resonated, it got broken, I guess. But alright, we'll go ahead and Toxic Stab this. I'm going to try and catch this and see what happens, just out of curiosity. It'll likely be too tanky, so I will use a ceramic... Oh wait, it's glass type. I wonder how these work on it, if it's based on base type, or not, but let's see what happens if I try doing this. I didn't expect... Oh, well, we've got a pretty solid chance of catching it as long as Kaylee doesn't take too much damage.
Got it!
Okay. No, it looks like it's a normal type. Okay. It was worth knowing. Welcome to the team, not glass. Not glass. Alright. Not glass was put in storage. Well, I can fusion now. Oh, no, I can't. Never mind. I thought it was glowing for some reason. Alright, we'll heal. And that should be enough to take it down, but I'll use the Sonic Boom as well. But I think we have a very good excuse to return to town and get healed up. Like a bull in a china shop, landing a beast-type attack on a class-type, opponent scatters sharp obstacles across the battlefield. While it is in effect, any character that uses a melee attack will damage from the glass shards on the battlefield. It is starting to get kind of complicated to keep track of all of these type matchups, because it's not just like one thing does more damage or less damage against another, it gives them buffs or debuffs, and that gets very overwhelming very quickly. Echolocation, used automatically at the start of battle for 0 AP, gives the user multi-target status for 3 turns. That's good. That'll be really good. Acquired jump scare causes the target to flinch, and we got a fuse material. Alright, why don't we head back to town? This new mobility, or this new overworld mobility ability will be pretty helpful, I imagine. And now I've gotten super derailed from like talking about my competitive team back in the day, but I think what I'm going to do, just because we have soup that has just finished cooking, I'm going to go to town, I'm going to heal up, I'm going to explore some options in town very briefly, and then I'll end the video. So what I'll do is I'll promise a tale of my competitive team in the next video. Inevitably, I will forget this promise, and you will get nothing, but I mean, the story is going to come. I mean, my competitive team that won me a tournament once is worth at least reminiscing about a little bit. Anyway. Oh, wait, she's telling me that I can dash to these. Yeah, okay. Right, they were telling me about that before, and I kind of ignored it. Oh, and we can go up there now. Cool. Alright, so we've opened up a fair bit of the map getting this new ability. It opens 2 different options now, which is really cool. Anyway, let's actually do what I was saying. Let's head over to this building over here, Gramophone Cafe. And we can buy stuff from you, right?
Bonjour.
This is not how you probably want me to buy from you. Okay. Don't mind me just standing on your head. I do like the idea that they don't have like a set currency. They buy things with materials that you get from winning battles. I do like that mechanic a little bit, quite a bit. Let's see. Pear Fusilli. Instantly, I want to have one of these on. Oh, that's really expensive though. Maybe I'll skip it for now. But if I get a good stock of wheat, I'm going to buy. What have I actually spent wheat on? Actually, you know what? I'm getting it. That may have a pretty important value down the road, and it doesn't use up a turn if you use it during combat. So it's going to be a save me situation. It's going to be like a lifesaver situation at some point, I imagine. So, and then let's get some more cassette tapes. I'll just take most of them, and then chrome tapes. We'll take some as well. Should have no issue catching new monsters now. Let's go see what the sticker salespeople are having. I now have at least some pulp worth, so I could consider spending things on the stickers.
Hey!
What have you got? I've been designing some new support stickers. Do you want to see what I've got? Peekaboo lowers the target's activity. Hypnosis gives the target sleep status for 3 turns. Water coating. Delegate transfers the user's status effects onto its ally. New leaf removes status elements. Nothing I see that I strictly want there. Let's see. These are combat. Silicone slash is a glass type. Throw. Use a wall as a projectile. Remaining duration multiplies damage. Ooh. That could actually be really strong because it's base 50. That's in between the base level damage of most of my moves, and this doesn't cost any AP. That could be really strong. Hits the last fighter to take their turn before the move. Double slice hits each team of a... Okay, toxic stab. I think I'm gonna take double slice. I'm gonna take throw as well. I see that being potentially really strong. I'm probably not gonna mess around with it now, but down the road that could have pretty solid potential. Like that sounds like it could do a whole lot of damage if used right. Sonic speed! Whee! Alright. So let's go ahead and rest up and save the day. But anyway, yeah, I've got, if I haven't made it clear, I've got a pretty long history with Pokemon. So I I will have many stories to talk about Pokemon, and if I lose options, well, I can copy what I'm doing in Isaac and just make a tier list of all of the Pokemon, all 1,000 plus, you know? That'll give me plenty to talk about for the foreseeable future. This might sound weird, but I think I actually prefer the smell of coffee to the taste. Don't get me wrong, I think coffee is brilliant, but the smell always implies something so much greater. Honestly, same. I'm not a fan of the taste of coffee, but it smells so good. Hazelnut coffee is probably one of my favorite smells out there. And like, the only way I enjoy coffee is with a good helping of sugar and dairy product of some nature, which I've learned, unfortunately, does not include whole milk Greek yogurt. That was such a mistake. Oh my god, it was vanilla flavored. Oh, it was so disgusting, but I didn't want to let the yogurt go to waste because I was trying to kill it off, so I think I just added ice cream to it afterwards to make it even better. Ice cream and coffee goes great. Vanilla flavored whole milk Greek yogurt, one of the worst flavors I've ever had in my life, and I will never make that mistake again. Anyway, we're gonna call it here. I hope you enjoyed watching if you're awake. I hope you're sleeping well if you're asleep. I love you, Kiwi. I'll see you in the next one.